welcome to another edition of the House Whisperer Show on WWDB Talk 860. I'm Barry Reisman, inviting you to stay tuned for expert advice about maintaining your house from the roof to the basement and everything in between, featuring professional home inspector Jack Milne. And once again, Jack is back. How you doing, Jack?
Hey, great, Barry. It's after Thanksgiving, and my belly is completely satiated, and I hope everyone learned a few things from last week's show.
I am now on my official diet after Thanksgiving.
Well, today's topic is a little off-kilter. And as everyone knows, I bring in my sponsors once a quarter, and today I'm extremely proud to have Kevin Zolna, who's the artistic director of BrainFlushGear.com. So, Kevin, how are you?
I'm doing well, Jack. Yourself?
Excellent, excellent. Today's topic is Brain Flush Gear. You've heard the name. Now here's the story. So before we kick in, though, I do want to thank my sponsors, because without them I wouldn't be on the air today. So let's go with Pest Blaster. Again, radon, mold, wood-destroying insects, and pest removal. So as it's getting colder, those pests are starting to come in. So if you need some assistance, give them a buzz at 215-295-5555. Burrow Exterminating. Hey, just because it's getting cold out doesn't mean the termites and carpenter bees and ants aren't still working within your home. So 610-586-5640. Bucksmont Inspections. As the snow lays on the ground and you see clear grass where your on-site sewage system is, you better give Rob a buzz at 215-669-4213. And, of course, Tri-County Inspection Company. We've been performing inspections now for almost 30 years. We cover 13 counties, and we're at 215-295-2030. And in the Lehigh Valley, 610-346-7880. I'm going to be real quick with the email box today, because I want to go ahead and get Kevin going on the air. But I do want to share this with people. Troy from Bethlehem. Jack, I got your show up here. It's a little scratchy at times, but that one you did on winter heating, I listened to on the podcast, in quote, crystal clear. I like the option. Anyway, I do have oil in my home, and based on your show, I'm seriously looking into propane. I also visited thehousewhispershow.com and listened to the segment on oil versus propane. I think you want to convert. Troy, make your decisions slowly and wisely. Don't mix your oil and propane up the same flue, and please go high efficiency, so this is not an issue. So, Troy, good luck, and I think you made a good choice. So if you want to email me, go to thehousewhispershow@gmail.com, and for all past episodes, you can go to thehousewhispershow.com. So today's topic, let's kick into gear. Brain Flush Gear, you've heard the name. Now here's their story. And Kevin, as you see, I intentionally kind of left you out as far as how people can reach you. So what's a good website for you?
You can actually reach us at brainflushgear.com. Also, you can contact directly at contact@brainflushgear.com if you wanted to just email directly.
Very cool. I appreciate that. Now, Kevin, just a couple good things. How did BrainFlushGear.com get started?
Well, I was approached, I guess, back in the mid-'90s by a bunch of friends who rode motorcycles, took their annual trips, and the trip started, I guess it was around 20 years ago, and they approached me with ideas for T-shirts and jackets, outerwear, hoodies, whatnot, to commemorate each of their journeys. And Bob Smith, their logistics guru and vice president, nicknamed the trips the Brain Flush, and 20 years later, it stuck.
Well, I can kind of understand that. Being an avid motorcyclist myself, every once in a while you got to let it go, and I see that's actually their motto.
Yeah, funny you say that. There's their motto, let it go. And I think anyone who has a passion which involves the sense of risk, where your pulse races and adrenaline flows, knows basically what a brain flush is.
Well, I know through your ads, it does include more than motorcycles, but I found this little quip, and I think this may help explain to our listeners what we kind of do. And it's really how riding can bring all of one's senses to bear, how it seems to merge man and machine and yet creates total calm in the midst of a constantly changing environments and situations. It's been called the, in quote, the zone or the moto nirvana, whatever. The place of being perfectly focused, perfectly dialed in, and yet at the same time perfectly tranquil. And I think that's why that let it go seems to fit. I think our world sometimes is so overly stressed that sometimes we actually take some risks to relax.
Exactly.
And it sounds kind of like an oxymoron, but I know Brain Flush has tried to reach out and has reached out to some of the more what I call avant-garde, maybe skateboarders,
like
the windsurfers, motocrossers. I mean, is this kind of intentional, or is this the way it just happened to be?
We include any group that needs anything a little different than the average, artist or airbrusher or screen printer provides. For those who live on the edge, we produce a concept for what it is your passion is. For your friends, group, any organization, you just let us know and we get it done.
Yeah, that's pretty cool because I think it's hard to find someone out there who Kevin, I've got 6 guys, or I've got 200 guys, and or girls, and we want to put something together that speaks just about our group. You go to the big box stores and you're kind of locked in, and you go to the motorcycle dealerships and you can buy a shirt that says, I'm a Kawasaki rider, I'm a Harley rider. I like the word pink on my butt. I mean,
the same thing that you see 90 other people wearing the same exact design.
Yeah, so it's nice that brainflushgear.com is out there to assist with groups.
And personalize it, basically personalizing, putting your own custom touch on the design.
Yeah, I think that's really cool because I know as they call them the Brain Flush Boys, I happen to be one of them. And, these guys get together and say, we're going to Kentucky next year. So what can we think of that will always let us remember this journey? And
memorialize them, exactly.
Exactly. So, Kevin, of course, I've seen your work. How did you get started?
I've always been into the drawing, the painting, art in general, and it was probably back in '92 where I was working at a boat trailer building facility, and I began airbrushing skulls and wicked designs on shirts and just wearing them to work. I was then asked, hey, where'd you get that shirt? It looks pretty cool. And I basically said that I did them, and questions, possibilities, and ideas started flowing from that point on. And after airbrushing for a few years, I basically jumped into keep up with the newer trends, had to teach myself the computer graphics and the digital end of for doing designs and signs and vehicle lettering and, truck lettering for vehicle graphics. So basically what led me to today.
When did you realize you had this craft?
To be honest, I recall as early as 4 years old drawing the same thing over and over again on a chalkboard, and it was a Santa Claus because I drew it until I was happy with what was there. So I kind of knew, not that I knew at that time, but when I think back to that time, that's probably the earliest thought that I had of just being into drawing in general.
Wow. I'll tell you, being an artist, there's this level of creativity that I think that does start at an early age. And I usually find you have it or you don't. I know sometimes with what I do, I have to draw roof systems. And as I turn the paper over and I start drawing a low-sloped roof, I said, now listen, I'm going to give you my kindergarten interpretation.
That's great.
I draw my rectangle with the chimney and the vent stack and where the eave box is. So I truly appreciate someone who's got a talent like yours.
That's so funny, and I do hear so many people through the years. Wow, that's amazing! You can draw like that, and I can barely draw a stick figure. That's probably the most common thing said to me in the last 20 plus years, 30 years, whatever, how long it's been that I've been doing it. So I see your point.
Let me ask you this: besides like T-shirts and hoodies, what else? Where else can your art appear? And
basically on anything. We've done such a large, vast variety of things, motorcycle helmets, anything from baby clothes like onesies to cheer organizations, any custom, unique designs for anything. We've even done, vehicle, big fleet graphics for, GE and companies such as that. So basically anything that is imprintable or paintable, we can take care of it.
How about it? We were talking last week about you did up a golf cart.
Yeah, and that was crazy. A guy wheeled in his golf cart off a trailer, brought it to the studio here, and told us what he was interested in having done, and we made it happen. Again, a golf cart. Who would have thought?
Okay, gentlemen, I have to jump in here for just a moment. We have to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Jack Milne, the House Whisperer, and today's special guest, Kevin Zolna, the artistic director at Brain Flush Gear. You're listening to WWDB, the House Whisperer Show.
Boro Exterminating has been specializing in wood-destroying insect inspection and control for over 40 years, serving Philadelphia and the surrounding counties. All inspectors are state certified and ensure providing their clients with professional inspections and treatments. Boro not only performs conventional termite treatments, but also handles special services like historic buildings and homes with wells, creeks, or ponds. The client is assured that all treatments will be performed safely when you hire Boro to do the work. They also provide radon testing in their service area. Boro's full-time office staff is available to help you schedule an appointment. Just call 610-586-5640 or send an email request to boroinspects@verizon.net. That's 610-586-5640 or email at boroinspects@verizon.net.
Specially created T-shirts by BrainFlushGear.com offer the extreme sports enthusiast an opportunity to have a clothing line available that suits their sport. BrainFlushGear.com understands that when we get the moment where we can jump on our motorcycles, wave runners, surfboards, snowmobiles, or skateboards, it can be priceless. They offer custom artwork including silk screening, transfers, and embroidery. Speak to one of their consultants today, and they'll help you create your own Brain Flush. Visit BrainFlushGear.com or email them at contact@BrainFlushGear.com.
For your septic inspection and testing needs, please consider Bucksmont Inspections. They've been serving the Bucks and Montgomery County areas for over 15 years. As members of the Pennsylvania Septic Management Association, the Pennsylvania Association of Sewage Enforcement Officers, and the Pennsylvania Association for Professional Soil Scientists, Bucksmont Inspections can inspect your existing septic system or test for your new septic system placement. Please call Rob Bowie at 215-669-4213 and say you heard their ad on the House Whisperer Show.
As the weather gets cooler and the temperatures drop, the bugs might slow down, but the rodents don't stop. Mice and rats begin to invade homes during the fall and winter months, looking for food, warmth, and a comfortable place to nest. Don't wait for pesky rodents to invade your home. Fight back. Have your home baited and ready for their attack with Pest Blaster. Whether preventative or a full-blown infestation, give Pest Blaster a call at 215-295-5555 and they can discuss the solution to your problem. They also offer humane animal removal services for a wide variety of wild animals, damage repairs, and cleanups. Call them today at 215-295-5555 or check them out at pestblaster.com. servicing both New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Pest Blaster, 215-295-5555 or pestblaster.com for all your pest control needs.
Tri-County Inspection Company has been providing professional home inspections, commercial inspections, and historic property evaluations for over 25 years. Tri-County Inspection Company covers 13 counties, serving both New Jersey and Pennsylvania. They've performed inspections for over 70,000 clients and are members of the American Society of Home Inspectors, as well as the Pennsylvania Home Inspectors Coalition. They are licensed in both Philadelphia and New Jersey. For all of your real estate transactions, call Tri-County Inspections at 215-295-2030. For their New Jersey clientele, call 856-853-4224. In PA, call 215-295-2030. In New Jersey, 856-853-4224.
Our house is a very, very, very fine house with 2 cats in the yard. Right.
And we are back with Jack Milne, the House Whisperer. And Jack's special guest today is Kevin Zolna, the artistic director at Brain Flush Gear. All right, guys, take it away. You're back on the air.
Well, thank you, Barry. And Kevin, once again, how can people reach out to you if they're trying to find Brain Flush Gear?
BrainFlushGear.com. All typed in as one word. I guess you can throw the www before it. And if not, you can contact direct through the email at contact@BrainFlushGear.com.
Of course, we're talking with Kevin, the artistic director at BrainFlushGear.com, and we're talking about some of the unusual things that Kevin has put his artwork on. And let me ask you this. It seems like guys are guys, but what do you do different to the girls?
Almost in the same line as, because I've done vehicle graphics for girls who bring in a Jeep, and sometimes it falls right into place with the same thing that the guys are one. They do their little cliques or organizations where, even be it the cheerleading or the gymnastics, they want something that stands out a little more, so they'll come and get something custom created. But same type of clothing and same type of other things we've done for girls as well as guys. Now, girls get to live on the edge once in a while, too.
No way. No, I'm kidding, ladies. I'm kidding. I think,
you know, in trouble on that one.
Yeah, I could, but I have to say, I think it's a third now of all motorcyclists are female. Yeah, that's a really strong number, and I'm always happy to see women on bikes. My wife's had a motorcycle license for over 20 years. But some of the little things that you also get involved with are simple as license plates, and I know you did a tire cover for me for the Jeep. I'm understanding that silhouettes are a new thing that Brain Flush Gear is coming up with.
Silhouettes and wall graphics. I have a client whose son is a snowboarder and wants me to make an abstract design that's going to, fit the space in his room. Pretty big. I'm guessing approximately 4 foot by 5 foot, and removable. So it can go on as a graphic. It's there while you want it there, and when you don't have to repaint the whole entire wall or scrape it off when you're done. It doesn't go up like wallpaper. It's kind of like a medium stick adhesive that, like I said, sticks on when you want it there, but pulls off and leaves your paint on the wall.
See, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty innovative, the materials that they actually come up to use them.
If you want to get an idea as to what these silhouettes look like, if you go to brainflushgear.com, you can kind of see what we're talking about. But what Kevin does is he creates these images just with slivers of lines that give you the impression as to what you're looking for. I know for another client you were telling me that, tell me the story about the motocross guy.
I airbrushed their son's portrait, basically, of their son doing a motocross spin around on a berm, dirt flying everywhere, and it was his actual photograph they took of their son. gave it to me. I reproduced it on a license plate, and then years later, they came back and the same picture. They loved it so much on the license plate that fit the front of the truck. They wanted it done for an actual wall hanging in a house. So that there was done on a canvas, very detailed, and I believe that was like 3 foot by 4 foot. And I can't verify it. I was told, but I do believe it's hanging in their dining room to this day. So.
That's so cool, and so that's why I love Kevin's talent, because you can give him a picture and he can recreate it with airbrushing, and the detail is so deep. It looks like a picture, but it was all hand done. And so, if you're out there and you've got skins of a motorcycle tank or the side cases or front and rear fenders, and you're thinking of doing something different, and you see something in a magazine, for example, this is, wow, I'd love to create something like this. You do need some friends who may be in the auto body business to kind of strip the tank down, get a base coat put on, but then give it to Kevin. And then let him put make your dreams a reality, and then you can give it back to your body shop. Have them throw a clear coat over it, and before you know it, you've got your legs over your own custom paint job.
And custom, just like you said, that's the key word there, custom. It's personalized to your needs, what you want to see on your personal vehicle, or like you said, the skins of the motocross bikes, helmets, anything.
Yeah, and you do hockey helmets, too, ice hockey helmets.
Ice hockey helmets, batting helmets, goalie masks, the whole nine, everything. Anything can be done. Again, anything that can be painted and clear-coated over, or paint would take to, we can take care of it.
One of the things that we've done over the past couple of years is we kind of moved from what we call a screen art to transfers. That's another option that's available also to a group. We had found out that sometimes it's hard to stock shirts that people may want or may not want, but the transfer opens up a possibility of ordering a shirt at a later date, but still having the artwork available.
Exactly, and to be put on different items as well. It doesn't have to be, 50 T-shirts. It doesn't have to be 5 T-shirts. You can do 5 T-shirts, 20 hoodies, and even throw it on a Carhartt jacket. Anything's possible with the transfers.
Now, that's another thing I've seen you done. You've actually done airbrushing on leather jackets, for example.
Yeah, that's pretty common. It's the same type of process. I mean, it's not going to get washed or anything, and as long as you can spray a little bit of a fixative over top of, the airbrush paint takes to basically anything. Now, transfers, you couldn't use a transfer, or sometimes I have seen the screen printing done, but to do one jacket with the screen print, the cost is ridiculous. So what we do is we'll take in custom airbrush each piece separately that way.
Yeah, I have a friend who lives in Canada, and he recently sent me an image of a BMW motorcycle that he wants to most likely have airbrushed by Kevin. So as I explained to this individual, I said, the one piece off can get a little bit pricey, but it all depends on Kevin's time. It's like anything else out there in the real world, and the amount of detail that's given. But you also do a lot of parties. Yeah,
tons of parties. Sweet 16s, bar bat mitzvahs, just regular birthday parties. People want to come and have their kids get something unique. It's personalized for them. A kid comes up and he says he just wants to maybe even, a baseball in a baseball bat with his name flowing over the top of. So we kind of do the graffiti art as well as, the screen printing and transfers.
Hey, can I jump in here? I have a question for Kevin.
Yeah, go ahead, Barry.
Because our station goes all over the world with the internet, and our signal covers the whole Delaware Valley and beyond. How far do you go geographically to do your work?
I've traveled all the way up to North Jersey, basically right outside of New York, and out in western Pennsylvania, I guess, as far as basically like Harrisburg, and down to Maryland, Delaware. So if things need to be done, I'm definitely not afraid to travel, and I've done tons of parties and events, throughout the tri-state area here.
All right, you get around.
Yeah, pretty much. Have airbrush, will travel.
I'm telling you, it's out to excite. Is there a minimum number of products you do, or can they just want to do one thing, or 100?
Yeah,
or
if it was for me to travel, there's usually a minimum. Like to go down somewhere like to Delaware or Maryland and do 10 pieces, really not cost effective. So something like that, what I would do is we would do a ship down. I could do them ahead of time before an event and have them shipped down to them before to make sure they had them for that, or try to find someone else who's in that area that might be able to help them out.
What I see is that for anyone who visits the website at brainflushgear.com, if there's any type of thing that you want to make that's unique to you, again, I think of the windsurfers, the skateboarders, of course, the motorcyclists, the motocrosser, anyone who wants something unique for their particular sport, and it can be soccer, it can be baseball, anything that allows you to, like the logo says, let it go. Well,
let it go.
Kevin, and he can help you with it.
We've got just enough time for Kevin to give us his phone number and his website. Can you do that for us, Kevin?
Yeah, we're just going to go with the, again, brainflushgear.com. Easiest way, check out the website. And you can also contact direct through email at contact@brainflushgear.com.
And Jack, I am sorry to say we are out of time once again.
Well, these days go quick, but as it is Sunday, folks, I look forward to talking to you next Sunday. Next Sunday's topic, I'm going to have Jim McKissick on the air, who is a professional appraiser, who can talk about what he's seeing out there in relation to price stabilization in the Philadelphia market. So I'll look forward to talking to you next week on The House Whisperer.
All right, and thank you very much to Jack Milne, the House Whisperer, who's always fascinating, and to today's special guest, Kevin Zolna, Artistic Director at Brain Flush Gear, and visit thehousewhisperershow.com. I'm Barry Reisman on WWDB. Thanks so much for listening.
Life used to be so hard. Now everything is easy 'cause of you. And now I'll light the fire while you place the flowers in the vase that you bought today.